My payments were $1,250 a month on Affirm and Klarna, that is.
I have so many, payments coming out constantly that I'm just going to pay these off and shut it all down because it'll make you broke, okay? I owe a lot.
The economy is crazy, prices on everyday goods is out of control, and it probably feels like you're broke and struggling while everyone else on social media is living their best lives. But I'm begging you, please do not use these buy now, pay later apps. I know it looks like free money, but it's not. And once you start making purchases using these apps, there are going to be so many different payments that come out of your account on a monthly basis, which is going to force you to use these apps even more to pay for stuff that you need, leaving you further in debt. And I know from experience, I actually ended up like $7,000 in debt using buy now, pay later apps without even noticing it. And honestly, I had the money to pay for the things that I wanted to buy, but it was just so convenient and quick using an app like Affirm at checkout. And before I knew it, I had like 15 different payments coming out of my account every month. It was a mess. But don't worry, I paid off all those loans and deleted those apps from my phone. The thing is, I got to see firsthand how much serious debt apps like Affirm, Afterpay, PayPal, and Klarna will allow you to get in. And it's so easy to get in debt, but so hard to get out of it. So this really should be terrifying for everyone out there using buy now, pay later. And I'm not alone, because as things are getting more expensive and everyday needs are harder to pay for, so many people out there are putting things like groceries, gas, Amazon orders, or bills on buy now, pay later apps, just digging themselves deeper and deeper into debt that's going to be so hard to get out of at the end of the day. But I'm Jude, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it. According to Forbes, Gen Z is drowning in debt as buy now, pay later services skyrocket. They're continuing to bury their heads in the sand and spin. Trust me, it is not just Gen Z. It's like 360 million people right now using these buy now, pay later services. In addition to using and maxing out their credit cards, a lot of Americans right now are also using these buy now, pay later apps, just digging themselves into deeper debt. But if you think about a consumer, especially one on a tight budget, you have to see the appeal to these buy now, pay later apps. There's no credit check. They're allowing you to buy whatever you want right now and not even have to worry about a payment until next month. And you can stretch out those payments for almost up to a year at this point, I think.
Hey, no cap. Affirm, Klarna, Afterpay, they all taking over. It's kind of crazy, bro. It be crazy as hell because, like, you can really buy anything in 4 different payments, bro. But my daughter's bought a goddamn Chipotle bowl on Klarna. He's paying $4 every 2 weeks. He gonna be done by New Year's.
Payments on Chipotle bowl is crazy.
My dog went to the gas station, got a full tank. He's still paying it off. He filled his tank up 2 months ago.
Right.
I just sent my boy $50 on Cash App. I'm paying $10 a month for the next 5 months. I just got my hair done too, bro. I'm paying my loctician $15 every 2 weeks for the next year. Hey, I'm trying to tell you, they taking over.
But yeah, that's how a lot of people are looking at it. It starts with a really small, convenient payment, and then you just keep adding to it over time. So look, like I said, I use Affirm a lot. For me, it actually started with one purchase. My toilet went out, it was leaking, I needed to buy a new toilet. So I went to Lowe's, I found a toilet that worked, it was $120. But when I went to check out, they recommended that I pay with Affirm, so I did. I didn't have to spend any money that day. And I think I paid off that toilet in 6 months. But that's how they get you, with the small purchase that you pay off over time, but then you end up using that app again and again and again and again, stacking payments on top of each other. And before you know it, you have multiple payments coming out every single month until you fall behind and maybe can't make those payments. And that's exactly what these companies are banking on.
Buy now, pay later is the equivalent of the subprime crisis brewing for millennials and Gen Z. And in California, 9 out of $10 of all consumer loans issued in 2020 were buy now, pay later loans. Gen Z consumers have spent 925% more through point of sale services than in January 2020, because they walk up, interfree people going to Coachella, and they say, are you sure you only want to buy a $40 outfit? You can buy a $400 outfit, and there's no credit check right now.
These companies are not giving you free money. I know that's what it seems like, but the only reason they have services like this is because it makes them a ton of money. Consumers will see it as free money and keep using it, knowing that they can't afford the things that they're actually buying, and will eventually miss payments or default altogether, racking up even more debt that's going to be harder to get out of.
Guys, we need something new. Like a new type of loan. Yeah, but don't like reinvent the wheel or anything. I mean, we just kind of need it to feel a little different, you know?
Buy now, pay later.
buy now, pay later. Sorry? You buy now, you pay later. You buy now, you pay later. Yeah, no, I heard you. You're just describing how every loan works. You buy now, you pay later. You said not to reinvent the wheel. Yeah. Well, yeah, but like that's pretty lazy. I mean, all right, let's hear your idea. But we buy stuff for people, they then pay it back over 4 installments, and they only pay fees if they miss an installment. It's not bad. And we charge fees to the merchants as well. And would we have to act like a credit provider, or would this exist in like a grey area in the debt world for a few years?
Gray area.
I'm pretty sure it's a grey area. So it's a loan, but it feels a little different. A little bit different. A little bit different. It's a little bit different.
A little bit
different. It's a little bit different. But it's not actually different, right? No, it's definitely still a loan, mate. You are on fire. Thanks, man.
In my opinion, these buy now, pay later apps are even worse and more predatory than credit cards. They have a lower barrier of entry, no credit check, and you can just start racking up debt immediately at an alarming rate. On top of that, you can use all these different buy now, pay later apps all at once, which most people do because it's a download away. And because of how the system works, when you buy something on one of these apps, it marks your payment as that day for the following months. As opposed to a credit card, you might spend $500 in a month, but you'll only have one consolidated payment due at the end of your statement date for all those purchases. Whereas using these apps, you might have 10 to 15 different payments due throughout the month, all on different dates, driving you broke and absolutely into a debt trap that most people will never be able to afford to get out of.
My payments were $1,250 a month
Wow.
on Affirm and Klarna, that is. When I started this thing at the end of March, 50. So yes, it can get worse. I really want to warn people about the pitfalls of buy now, pay laters. If you can do it responsibly, I mean, that's on you. I clearly could not do it responsibly. And will you think in your head, oh, $50 here?
Yeah, I mean, responsibly is a thing. It's just like credit cards. If you can do it responsibly, there's a benefit to it. But these buy now, pay later services, just like credit cards, they give you more and more and more credit to use. So you just keep spending on all these transactions. But with credit cards, you have one payment, one consolidated payment to pay for the month to cover all your transactions. With these buy now, pay later services, there are so many different payments that it just stacks up and it becomes unmanageable, especially if you're a regular person working a 9-to-5 job. You can't afford to pay $1,250 just on these payments when you probably still have credit card payments, other loans, and regular bills. There's just no way that that's sustainable.
But it all adds up and it gets out of control. And literally, I went viral for having 44 loans. And before that, it was like closer to 50.
Wow.
And I have it down to a little over 20 now, I believe. But I'm about to pay 8 off. I think it's 20. See, it's so hard to keep up with. Yep. And I know that you want it now. And sometimes you have to. Like, I've done groceries. I've done all kinds of crap on Affirm and Klarna. But it adds up. And then you are in a chokehold. Yep. And in some ways, it is worse than having credit card payments.
It's worse than credit cards.
$1,250 a month is what I was paying on Affirm and Klarna when I started this journey.
It's so easy to rack up a crazy number of loans with these apps. And kind of like that article said, just bury your head in the sand. Because when you're making purchases using these apps, it feels like the payments are small and really won't be an issue to pay down. And it's not really until they start stacking on top of each other that you realize you're drowning in debt.
Okay, let me tell you today that I really suggest everyone should stay away from Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay. I have so many payments coming out constantly that I'm just going to pay these off and shut it all down because it'll make you broke, okay? I owe a lot.
$10,000 in debt. Again, I was up to $7,000 in debt. So it happened so quickly and without you noticing, especially depending on how quick you're spending, it just adds up until before you know it, you have 10, 15 payments all coming out on different days of the month.
It's ridiculous. I just take it away from me. So I'm gonna tell you what I owe. So with Affirm, I actually owe.
And just like everybody else, she's using all these different pay later services at the same time, which just makes it worse.
I actually owe $3,623.88. With Klarna, I owe $1,133.55. With Afterpay, I had to shut it down so I could make monthly payments, so I only owe $151. And with Capital One, I have a credit card, Capital One.
Credit cards on top of that.
$14.56. I have a Barclay card. I owe $3,780.45. I have an American Express card. I owe $1,130.06. So that's a grand total of $10,133.
Get out of that.
$10,133.50. So yeah, I owe a lot. So I'm going to stop. After I pay all this off, I'm not going to be
Credit card
charging
free.
anything, okay? Just too much debt. Yeah. I've been a bad girl. Take the card away. So I suggest just stay away, especially from Affirm and Klarna and Afterpay. You'll be asking for payments constantly. Yep. You might go into overdraft.
It's literally death by 1,000 cuts. I know we're living in a social media driven, keeping up with the Joneses, instant gratification society, but if you don't have the money in your bank account, don't spend it. Budgeting and financial literacy are so important, and two things that most people just struggle with. But look, here's a very simple rule that everybody can follow. If you don't have the money, don't spend it. Because credit cards, loans on commercial items, buy now, pay later are all designed to keep you in debt for as long as possible while making these companies as much money as possible. And it's all the same debt trap no matter how it's rebranded or repackaged. So if you're using these buy now, pay later apps, pay those loans off as soon as possible. Either pay off the smallest bill first or the bill that's going to be paid off the soonest. But get out of that debt. And it's rumored that these buy now, pay later apps are going to be reporting to your credit. So if you're behind or defaulting on those, it's going to hurt you even more. When it comes to paying off debt, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. And once you pay it off, I promise you, you will feel so free. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Have you ever used any of these buy now, pay later apps, and what was your experience? Also, make sure you join Discord to continue the conversation over there. The link is in the description. Make sure you check out the next video, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.